First of all, let me say thank y'all for showing up. It's basically going to be our little organization meeting day for the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. We have several new members on this committee, including myself. And one of the things I want to do today was just, number one, adopt the rules that the committee will be going by. Secondly, we'll kind of let the committee introduce themselves to you, and for those I may not have met yet, even to myself. It's been kind of busy the last few days, but if we have time, I may even go around the audience and let y'all introduce yourselves to the committee, since you could be spending a lot of time with us this year. If all the members would just open up your folders, you'll see the rules for the 2011-2012 session. According to my wonderful aide, Abby Day, who's been helping me tremendously over the last few days, this is the same rules that we had last year. But if y'all will just take a couple minutes, kind of go over these rules. I'm not going to read them out loud, but just look over them. If there's any questions, just let me know, and then in just a minute we'll get a motion to move forward with these rules. And for you out in the audience, the biggest one is probably going to be the one on the quorum. We're still keeping that 4 members. If we got 4 members, we're going to roll with the committee. So I know a lot of y'all will have people coming from out of town, and we want to make sure they get heard. Yes, sir, Billy. Representative Horn, I'm sorry. Has everyone had time to look at these? Go ahead with your motion, Representative Horn. Got a motion? Got a second? All those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The rules are adopted. Also, for the members, if in your blue folder, we got a contact information sheet. If y'all fill that out and get it back to Abby, I would greatly appreciate that, so we can get in touch with you. Well, I'm going to start things off on the introduction part. For those that don't know me, I'm Tim Bearden. I represent Carroll County and Douglas County in District 68. Before getting elected to this position, I got to spend 15 years in law enforcement, so some of you look familiar from that end, and many of you look familiar from the Judy Non-Civil Committee, so we're going to try to run that one a little bit smoother than they do. I spent 6 years with them, I can say that. But with that being said, Chairman Talton, I'll let you go next, and we'll just go around this way. And what number are you? 15?
15. My name is Willie Townsend. I represent District 145, which is Warner Robins, Georgia. And prior to here, I spent 40 years in law enforcement in Houston County.
Hi, my name is Darlene Taylor, and I represent Thomas and Grady County. And though I don't have that experience, I have 5 retired members of my family from law enforcement.
Hello, I'm Scott Holcomb, represent District 82, which is northern DeKalb County, brand new legislator, and I started my legal career as a prosecutor, so I look forward to serving on this committee. Thank you.
I'm not going to forget about Legislative Council because you're going to be a godsend.
I try to stay anonymous, but I'm
Not
Terry
today.
Long. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Legislative Counsel, and I've worked with the Public Safety Committee now for 6 years and with various law enforcement agencies for over 20 years.
On this committee, you won't stay anonymous, I promise you.
Mr. Chairman.
Representative Maddox.
Billy Maddox. I represent District 127, which is Pike County, Upson County, and part of Lamar County. This is my 3rd year on the Public Safety Committee, so a lot of familiar faces out in the crowd. I did have a question. Are you still in prosecution? Does that wash off? I'm an attorney. We do criminal defense, but I think, as most will tell you in here, pretty reasonable when it comes to law enforcement legislation in here. But look forward to working with you.
Representative Frazier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to welcome our new chairman.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I am Representative Gloria Frazier, and I'm from the second largest city in Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, District 123. This is my 5th year serving on public safety, and it is always a pleasure to be on this committee and to work with such fine colleagues as we represent our public safety department in the state of Georgia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yasmin Neal, 75th District out of Clayton County. Detective with the Clayton County Police Department, working major felony units, murder, rape, robbery. Those are the cases we handle. I just recently transferred out just so I can do both. So I'm still a police officer, but this way I can work here and at my job. Along with that, worked at the Sheriff's Department. I did internal affairs, backgrounds in hiring, fugitive squad. Just glad to be here and part of something that I know about. So thank you.
Billy Horn, represent the 71st District, which is the eastern part of Coweta County, and this will be my 7th year on this committee.
I'm Kevin Cook. I represent District 18. I cover a portion of Carroll and share a portion of Carroll with the chairman, and Harrelson and a portion of Harrelson County as well. And I had a brief career in law enforcement myself out of college, so look forward to working with everybody.
I'm Bob Hanna from Parrott, Georgia. I represent Southwest Georgia, part of Lee, Terrell, Webster, Stewart, Quitman, and Chattahoochee counties. I guess I've been on public safety. I was vice chairman of the first public safety committee in 1977. So I hadn't been a police officer, but I had a little experience there, and then got off and came back. But it is a great committee. Thank you.
Well, our former speaker called me and warned me about that too. So Terry Coleman, but there's just a couple more things I'm going to talk about. So there's so many of you, we may not get out here before 3. If we start going through that, I'm sure we'll all get a chance to know a lot of you if we don't know you already. But a little bit about the committee and way I like to see it worked. One, you're probably not going to hear me speak too much during the committee process. This is the committee, and they know what they're doing. They're a good group of people, and I'm going to trust their knowledge and their judgment on some of these controversial bills we're going to be receiving. I know we got one already that's going to probably crowd this room out if we're in this room. That's going to be coming up here next week or so. But if there's anything any of us on the committee can do for you, don't hesitate to let us know. If you want to be on our contact list, get with Abby, get her all the information, phone number, email address, so we can make sure that you know when the meetings are going to be coming up. Pretty much that's about it, unless anyone on the committee has anything to say. I know a lot of us are in budget meetings. I just left one, so I need to get back to that. Does anyone on the committee have anything they'd like to say? Representative Neal.
Well, I just have one question, and maybe I'm not sure if the newer people know this or not. Do we have a subcommittee for this committee?
On the subcommittee, that's going to be upon the decision of the chair. If there's an issue that we feel needs to be hashed out a little bit more before coming to full committee, we will do some subcommittees. I kind of take that a little bit back from who is now the current speaker, Chairman Ralston, when he was the chairman of Judy Non-Civil. He really liked letting things be vented out in the full committee instead of doing things twice sometimes, and I really liked the way he done it. Now then, we had some committees that last about 10 hours in that committee on some issues, and I hope that does not occur, but I believe in hashing out something that needs to be some work done on it. We may break that into a subcommittee and let that be addressed before bringing it back to full committee. But if there's no other questions, and is there any questions from anyone in the audience? We answered every single question. That's amazing. Yes, ma'am.
I just wonder, is this going to be our usual meeting date and time?
We're going to try Wednesdays.
Okay.
Chairman Talton has a committee he's got. We also have Chairman Neal,
Okay.
who has institutions, state institutions and properties. So we're going to try to work it so we don't interfere with no one else, and the whole
Okay.
committee's here. Any other question? Thank you. Frank Rotundo, if you could front and center, and since there you go. We do want to say hello to you since you represent the Georgia Association of the Chiefs of Police of Georgia, and we also have our firefighters on the second row, and if we would, and GBI. Are there any other agencies we're missing from the law enforcement community out there? Raise your hand. City of Atlanta, APD. I'd like to say, along with the committee, sorry about that, and all of you, thank you so much for everything that you do. A tremendous job, as I talked to the sheriffs the other night. When it comes to our public safety folks, a lot of us take advantage on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and some of those holidays that we're out there spending with the family. Public safety is always out there on the road 24 hours a day, taking time away from your families to serve this state. So thank y'all very much for everything. At this point, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting, and I would say look towards next Wednesday. We already have some bills coming to this committee, and we'll start going ahead and getting those heard and voted on and see what we'll do. Thank y'all very much.